A traitor has reared its ugly head in and amongst our brilliant group. Just as things were going swimmingly and we looked like running away with the league, someone has walked, someone crucial. We've got home comforts today, or what should be home comforts, but nowadays it's become home terrors. Yes, hello and welcome along to part 38 of the Head Coach with me, Daniel. We are back today to talk about a little bit of a wobble in the National League South. We're still 7 points clear, it still looks good, promotion is still on the cards, but we are not having any home comforts at the minute. Big problems with our form at our own stadium. We've got a big home game against a playoff contender today. So we're going to have to come up with something new, and we might be seeing a tactical experiment live in this episode. We've also got an away trip to Weymouth who are up in that mix as well, and the gap at the top has closed slightly. Just 7 points to Havant and 9 points to Chippenham, who are flying with Darcy Moffat still scoring the goals. So if you're looking forward to all of that, please do chuck a thumbs up on it. A quick thanks again to the sponsor HelloFresh. You can find that down in the description. Big money off and help support the channel. But let's go straight to transfer news, because we have been done by a traitor. And the traitor that we mentioned in the intro is none other than a first 11 star. If we go and have a look at what's been going on, it's not on this screen here, although there are some bizarre goings on there. Let's go to the released players, because Ollie Ewing has decided to walk, despite no one wanting to sign him, same as Rafferty Pedder, who've been a free for half the season now. He just walked in mid-January, bizarrely. We were 10 or 12 points clear at the top at the time. We looked shoo-ins for promotion, he was playing really well, and we just came back one day to the message to say he decided to leave the club. I have no idea what caused it, and that's the thing that's frustrating, is not having an idea of where it's come from. So our best midfielder has left the club, our leader's left the club, and our best free kick taker left the club as well. But either way, we are now a star midfielder short, and for all of the good that's come in and out this season, he's not one that's been replaced yet. Archie Thomas then followed him out the door as another centre midfield option, so we're a little bit shorter there, but he was one who was an emergency backup and maybe would have been promoted to emergency sub after Ollie Ewing decided to walk. And then the one after that, or in between I should say, was Kobe Brooks, who was the backup goalkeeper. Now he's left because another man has come in. He's now playing for Hereford in the National League North. But let's go and have a look at our transfers, because in addition to those guys, Reece Grego-Cox left the club. He went for £15,000 of Finn Harps. Gotta be honest, I'm pretty pleased with our assistant manager and our director of football, because our assistant recommended to transfer list him in the weekly team meeting, and our director of football has managed to get a fee for him, a player who again wasn't on the bench most weeks, a really average player, and although he's been important for us in all three saves, he's not quite at his best in this one, and as a result, very happy to get £15,000. It has led to something else that's quite important as well. But in addition to all of that, we've got one in, and it's a position where we really didn't need a player. We've got ourselves a slight upgrade to the first team in goal. Why? I don't know. I mean, look at Brad Wade. He is a National League goalkeeper already. He's now coming to play for us. He's building his fitness. He's building himself up to speed. But he is better than Keeley, who again had a very good year for us, but he's not as good as Brad Wade. So he's our new number one. We've now got Keeley as backup. And then where we've lost Kobe Brooks, we've got our number 3 still as Will Blease. But with those guys signed, I'm fairly okay. But we do need a bit more in midfield. And our director of football's trying to get it. He lost out on a very good target he went for. So now he's going for a backup, I guess to replace Archie Thomas instead. Harley Hamilton is that man from Cray. He has 2-star ability, quite versatile, good physically, and he's got some potential. But let's be honest, he would be coming in as an emergency backup at most. He'd come and sit on the bench, he'd do a job for us. But it's not quite Ollie Ewing. And with him gone, we have now got to make sure we keep this squad as tight as possible, because we've not got the star quality in central midfield. That is shown on the schedule, I think it's fair to say. If we go and have a look at it now, it has been a disappointing run of results at home. On the road, we've been spectacular. So you can see, since you were last with me, where we played Hemel, again, dropped points at home, 1 away at Weston-super-Mare. We immediately lost 2-0 at home to Hampton and Richmond, who were relegation threatened at the time, but did beat Weston-super-Mare 5-0 the week before. They beat us by 2, it should have been more. The only solace we had in that game is that we won a penalty, but then James Kroll missed it. Both him and Alfie Lloyd in the fives. That tells you a lot about our attacking display. A 4-0 win though as we bounce back away from home. James Kroll with a second half hat-trick after Ollie Ewing scored what I think was his last goal for the club. And then our only home win since the last episode. A Kroll brace, one from a penalty spot as we scored 2 quick-fire goals against Chippenham Town. A 3-0 win at Hungerford followed, Kroll with a hat-trick. 2-0 at Tonbridge, Kroll with both. I think you know who the star is at the moment. I did say that he changed our season when he came in last time out. I am making no changes to that statement because he's proven it. He did struggle though at home to Eastbourne Borough. We lost 3-1 there. Boyd Beecroft had equalised on the stroke of half time, but it wasn't enough to get us any chance in the game. We were really poor. We then lost 1-0 at home to Dartford as Brad Wade made his debut, but the visitors, they've generally had our number. They beat us early this season. We drew on the final day last year. We've never had a really great performance against them. And then against Torquay United away from home last time, a crucial win. After going behind and struggling at the break, it was Yacine Touré, Mattia Balducci, who's replaced Ollie Ewing in the first 11, and of course a James Kroll penalty to get us amongst the goals. So a good win there, a crucial one because that gap was closing with back-to-back defeats. Darcy Moffat still flying with 26 goals at the top, but James Kroll, when you consider how late he came in, is catching quick on 17 from 15 appearances. So that's where we are at the moment. Everything looking a bit bizarre, a little bit hectic. No home form, no centre midfielder and captain, but scoring goals with one centre forward and away from home with flawless. So I'm not sure what to expect for the next couple of months. I still feel there's a twist in the tail. No sign of a job offer, no sign of progression on the reputation front. But as a result of that sale and the club going back into the black briefly financially, we have now got ourselves a coaching badge. We are going to study for our National A licence, our 3rd badge and our first since leaving Airbus. And I hope that that's going to take us to the next level and maybe get that National League or League 2 side to come calling for us. And this is our experiment of the day. Whether it works or not, I have no idea. It might be a 1-game only thing. We did try this in FM22 with Hemel. Not this exact tactic, but a very similar bold tactical change, and it went horribly wrong. So let's hope the same doesn't happen today. In essence, we're going for a back 5, trying to protect our defence and goalkeeper, who have been pretty average at times at home this season. In midfield, we've just got the normal 2, but without that holder, and then 3 up front, who can just go on the counter and do it on their own. So we want to play into the midfield, we want to get through the middle and get the likes of Touré, Balducci, Kroll and Lloyd charging at their defence. So let's go and get through the team. We've got Wade in goal, Brian in at right back so Anderson can move across. He's in a back 3 with Beecroft and Herbert. We've got Woodthorpe over on the left hand side, Balducci and Finney in the middle, and then Yacine Touré coming back into form behind Lloyd and Kroll up front. Both of them have had their struggles in recent games, particularly Lloyd. As a front 2, if we can get it working, I think they could be pretty spectacular. So let's go and submit the team. Let's go and get into a home game. And can we do something to stop the run of defeats? Because at home, that seems to be all we know at the moment. We've got a good side against us in this one. Noor Hussein in their midfield with Levy Lang. Josh Duffer scores goals up front. I mean, they've got quality everywhere. Robinson is a centre-half that I'm sure our director of football tried to sign previously. So good players, they're up in the playoffs for a reason. They're a side that had also been in the National League and come back down, but they're seeming to cope a lot better. Let's go and get into the first half at Maidenhead. The fans are going to be baffled by this tactic, but if it produces a result, I think everyone will forgive us. Well, to be honest, with 25 minutes gone, it's been a very quiet game, which is definitely an improvement. The stats look better on our front. We've had most of the shots. We've had the only attempt on target, but there's not really been a great deal of fluidity to the game, which you may expect. I should just say as well, we haven't just flown into this tactic. We've been training it for a couple of months. As Lloyd gets in, hits the post with a shot. The goalkeeper, don't know what he was doing. But a lovely through ball, though front 2 linking up for the first time. But our opponents in midweek Weymouth, they have taken a lead. So they're going to be tricky as Touré holds the ball up, has Kroll running left, Brian on the right, who's had a good match here. Balducci back to Anderson. Good to see the back 3 getting forward. Lovely ball to Lloyd, Kroll's in the middle. Oh, it's a poor finish. He does not often miss chances like that. He's been so reliable. You've seen in recent weeks. He's the only man scoring. But it's a more encouraging home performance, albeit we're back under pressure now as the cross comes in. Good block from Woodthorpe. Seems a lot more confident with that flat back 5. But do we have the width going forward? I'm not so sure just yet. Herbert goes long towards Lloyd, loses out in the air, and we're then a little bit short in midfield. They seem to win the second ball a lot. Here they come down the left. Mooney on the edge, shoots from distance, just over the bar. Half an hour gone. Better display, still nothing to show for it. The stats look good though. Well, at half-time, it stays 0-0. It's been a really good performance by our home standards in recent months. I'm going to tell the lads to keep going. They are creating chances. Perhaps we're not getting as many set pieces from not having those players in wide areas, but we are creating more from open play. So if Lloyd and Kroll can maybe find themselves some form today, particularly Alfie Lloyd, it might be a chance for us to nick a winner. Let's go and start the second half. At the moment, with the way we're playing away from home, it's almost become the reverse of the normal. We want to win away and draw at home. If we do that, we should go up. Let's see how we get on though. We're early in the second half. It is Worthing on the front foot. I wonder if they'll adapt tactically because they probably expected us to play the back four. We've done it every game this season. So will they have made changes to try and cope with us? As Yassin Toure carries the ball forward, drifting wide to the right. There's two in the middle. Kroll's one of them. That is a wonderful goal. Toure created the natural width with a good run down the right hand side. And Kroll puts it in really confidently. He's been scoring goals galore. He's the first poacher I've had in this save that has just been consistent on that front. And he's doing a job for us again as Toure puts the corner in. Beecroft heads just wide. The set-piece threat has certainly not dwindled. It's just a case of having a few less. At the moment, this is the best home performance we've produced in a long time. Because even the Chippenham one, we were lucky. So let's see what changes we can make to the team. Fresh legs in the middle. It will be DeRozan for Balducci. We're looking at the strikers. They're fine. It's just whether we take off maybe one of the centre-halves, but they're all doing all right. So maybe Kamari Grant because he's a natural centre-half. But I don't think there's much else I want to do. And in fact, looking at Beecroft's fitness at the minute, I'm going to leave it 5 because it might well be him that comes off. And it's going to be 15 minutes left. Grant is on for Beecroft. We've got one more change left. We've got some tired legs up front. So I'm just going to take off Alfie Lloyd, who's now on a yellow card. He'll be replaced by Jack Deakin for the last few minutes. Or in fact, could Luther come on up there? Who's better? Deakin 6'2", got a bit of pace in behind. Luther, not the best finisher. Very quick, he's got ability. I'm going to go Deakin because he very rarely gets an appearance now. And I just want to see if he can contribute in this too. 6 minutes remaining. We've been the better side. And our biggest player is on a free kick. I certainly didn't set that up. Maybe the original taker's gone off as Deakin recovers it. Gets it across to Toure. Headed away as far as Grant and it's flicked on. And now we're under pressure. But Grant does really well. Wins it back in the edge of his own box. Wins it back near the halfway line and Herbert can play forward. Kroll in, the keeper comes. And he claims it comfortably. 5 minutes to go. Worthing going for the big kick downfield. And they've left a few up as Herbert heads clear. Falls for Bellis and back to Lang in defence. He gets it wide to the left-hand side. They are throwing men forward and Bellis gets in. Oh, it was too good to be true. We've played really well. We've dominated the game. But some tired legs at the back. Some pretty poor defending and some pretty poor communication has led to the equaliser. Probably undeserved, but for the games that we've won at home that we haven't deserved to, I don't think we can have complaints. What I don't want to do, though, is throw this away and lose all 3 points, as it's long towards Kroll, who's not going to get there. We're going to come under pressure here. This is becoming an issue. Long ball forward. The defence has completely parted. What is going on back there? It hits the post. We get away with it. Wake the hell up, will you? You cannot throw away a game where you've been that dominant. Boyd Beecroft tired coming off has made such a difference. And next time, I'll just leave him on the 90. It's still a draw at home. We've not managed to find that winning formula. I think you'll agree the performance for the most part was an awful lot better. But it's still not enough. It's a 1-1 draw. It's a decent result against the top side. But now back to the tried and trusted away from home. And fingers crossed, a similar outcome to normal. We're back a day earlier than planned because we've been rejected by Harley Hamilton from Cray and our director of football has gone in for another centre midfielder. So at least he is trying to replace that void in the squad from both Archie Thomas and Ollie Ewing. It is Ewan Clark, a 23-year-old centre mid and attacking mid. Now this might actually help us with that new home tactic, having a natural number 10. 2.5-star ability, 3.5-star potential. Seems to have played pretty well for the most part of this season. How is he rated? Not too badly. Probably not fit enough to play twice a week, but he's got decent technical stats, in the key areas at least, particularly looking forward. Very solid mentally. It's just physically, isn't it? He's miles off, but overall a decent player and would certainly help us just with that squad depth ahead of the title push coming in the next couple of months. Wade is declining a bit. I guess that's because he's largely been a free agent. But we've got to turn our attention to tomorrow because we've got Weymouth in the National League South. If you look at the top, we are just 4 points ahead now because Chippenham have played in advance and won yet again. They are going to be a real threat here. They've got a proper goal scorer. They don't draw games. They either win or lose. So if they turn a few of those defeats into wins, with Moffat now fit, we're going to be in big trouble. This title race could yet be blown from a 10-point lead. And here we go. Time to head to Weymouth. Back to our normal formation that usually works so well. And we've got to pick a team that's fitting of winning it. So let's go and adjust our lineup. We'll be back in a minute to run through it, because this one going to be pretty crucial in the title race. So nice and simple really. We bring back Curtis DeRose in the holding role for the extra centre half. That's going to be Richard Bryan the right back with Anderson going back out wide. He's got a good enough relationship with Alfie Lloyd out there. The rest of the team is pretty much what you would expect. So not many changes. The core is still there. Torre and Lloyd back out in the wide areas, but hopefully still posing a threat. Weymouth away, it's going to be a tough one. Let's go and get into it and try and keep up our away form. And here are the lineups. It's just one change for Weymouth as well, as they look to keep their pretty good run of form going. Adu Adjei up front got player of the week when we were playing last weekend. And Terrell Whittaker is a former Channel hero from many years ago. We've talked about them before. I think we played them earlier in the reverse fixture. The likes of Archie Brown, top quality player. And to be fair, they've got a side that's probably as strong as ours on paper. So let's go and tell the lads this is a match we should be winning. Not sure I agree with that statement. We're going to start positive because it's worked on the road a lot this year. If we can get that first goal though, we'll be dropping back before you know it. And here we are with 7 minutes on the clock with Balducci getting the ball in midfield. Nice long ball. We're going a bit more direct today as we often do on the road. And Torre gets himself in, tries to chip it across the box. Deflection actually made it look a shot, but it was towards Kroll up front. Didn't reach him though. Stays 0-0. And with 15 gone, it's all Weymouth. So let's go back to cautious. I might have left it a little too late here because Weymouth have got the ball in the middle with Gaspar and Terrell Whittaker over on the right-hand side. Chance to surge forward and he's doing just that. Beats two. Woodthorpe chases him back, but Chapman makes the run beyond him. To the byline, across to Adjei. Just left it a minute too late to make that change. That was me punching the desk very lightly because we're 17 gone, we're 1-0 down. And if we start losing our away games, we're in very big trouble. And here we are again with 20 gone. On the right-hand side, it's Weymouth in an attacking position. Cromwell gets it inside to Gaspar. Chance to get the cross in, but he's being forced wider at the minute. Back to the edge of the box and Chapman. To Gaspar. Shot's just over. Almost caught the keeper out there. He'd certainly caught me out by taking a shot. And with 25 gone, we can have no complaints. We're up against a very good side. And it is something we've found generally this year in FM. When we've been playing once a week, the AI can compete with anyone. When they're having to rotate the squad and that, maybe they're a little bit more vulnerable. We saw that in the festive period. Here, Weymouth are very good value for their lead. They've been absolutely dominant from start to half time. So we're going to get to the dressing room. We're going to say we're disappointed. A few of them are fired up, but we need that reaction on the pitch. And early doors, it doesn't look like we've got it because it's a Weymouth corner in the 3rd minute of the half. Into the front post, header hits the woodwork, rebound deflects over. Anderson does very well to block it. But the fact that we're 1-0 down and Wade is man of the match at the minute, that tells you everything you need to know. As Chapman, corner kick from the left-hand side this time. In-swinger headed away by Beecroft. Gaspar gets it back out to Cornwell. And Gaspar again, through ball's too easy. Whittaker's in. I genuinely don't know how they've missed that. They've had so many great chances to double their lead. At the moment, they'll be gutted it's only 1-0, and we're going to be looking desperately for a response. So with 25 to go, let's have a look at what we can change. Yassin Toure will come off for Luther on the left. In midfield, Charlie Finney struggled. Wadham on, bit of solidity. DeRose goes further forward. And then at the back, is there anything worth changing? We've got nerves in Beecroft, so Kamari Grant, you come on for him. 3 changes made, 25 to go. Let's encourage, let's try and get them forward. And to be fair, if we have to, we're going to have to go positive because we can't just sit here and wait to be beaten. So long ball forward to Cornwell on the left again. Keeps it in at the byline towards Whittaker. And his header straight at Wade. They're winning every first, second and third ball. We're not competing whatsoever. And we don't deserve to only be 1 goal down here. If we can nick a draw, it would be a miracle. As the long ball forward is straight back at us. Whittaker over the top. Woodthorpe does well to mop up with it, and it's back to Wade in goal. You know where it's going. Can we win anything? Kroll's up, knocks it down though. Balducci to Kroll again. Lloyd's running off the right. He's in one-on-one. Has to score. He doesn't, but he wins the penalty. The referee gives it from 50 yards away. But I'm not going to complain. This is a glorious chance to get back on terms. I've no idea how we're still in a game, but I will take a draw, and Kroll makes absolutely no mistake. I initially thought that was dribbling wide of the post, but we get away with it. 1-1 with 15 to go. I still don't fancy our chances of clinging on though. Though we have got a free kick again in an attacking area. DeRose up to the back post to Grant. Free header straight at the goalkeeper. We almost nick one. If we get 3 points out of this, and we had a similar game last episode against Weston-super-Mare, if you can nick 3 points when you don't deserve it, it's a sign of champions. At this stage of the season, how you play is irrelevant. As Luther gets to the byline, the goal's really given us a boost. Back to Woodthorpe, across to Lloyd. It's in for 2-1. And Alfie Lloyd puts us ahead. We are rampant at the minute. They have completely collapsed since conceding the equaliser. And here's Cornwell. 7 minutes to go for Weymouth. A chance to come forward. Jones on the left-hand side. It's becoming an end-to-end match. And Adjay heads in. That's pathetic defending. Really given nothing there to try and win the challenge. And it's 2-2. Back on terms. And with 2 minutes to go, we're back for yet another highlight. Who knows how this game is going to finish? Could be heartbreak for someone or a pretty decent point for both, as Cornwell loses out to Grant in the air, falls for Balducci. Luther the sub has had a good game, finds DeRose. He's had more of an impact further forward too. Good through ball to Kroll. Is he onside? He scored if he is. Please don't put that flag up. Oh, you legends. Look at the man up front. James Kroll, even when we've played this badly, is completely changing our season. He's dominated the defenders. He's had 2 chances. He scored them both. And against the run of play, we win by 3-2. These are the away performances that are winning us the league, because no defence in this division can cope with Alfie Lloyd or the big man, James Kroll, up front. Let's go and get through the dressing room. We're going to tell the lads it was an excellent win. The same pattern continues. Draw your home games, win your away ones. Let's go and have a look at the schedule, see when we're going to be back. And with that game won, the gap returns to 7 points at the top of the National League South table. 15 games to go, a lot of tricky ones as well. But if we can't win home games, it is going to be tough. Let's go and have a look at the schedule though for when we're next going to be back. Lots of tough games to come. Horrible finish to the season. How crucial could Chippenham away? Weston-super-Mare at home be? 2 of the last 3 fixtures are horrible on paper. In the middle, we've got some friendlier games. We're going to do 2 more episodes this season. I am looking at Slough and Dover as initial options because Dover are up in 5th. Slough technically are the rivals. Who's the one the other side of Dover? Hayes and Yedding. And they are further down the table. So I think the truth is it will be Slough and Dover in the next episode. Then we'll do 2 of the final 3, all of them. Who knows? Depends on the league situation. But if you did enjoy this one, a crucial win away from home, a thoroughly undeserved win at that, then please do put a thumbs up on it. Let me know what you thought of the performances, the new home tactic we tried. Is it one I should stick with or abandon straight away? And do you think we're going to hold on? I'm starting to think we will, but it only takes a very small turn in the rub of the green, and those away results turn very quickly. So if you want to stay up to date and find out, subscribe down below and turn that notification bell on. We'll have daily episodes from 2 long-term stories, including the Build a Nation, which will be back tomorrow. Then we'll be here in a couple of days' time to edge closer to the title with Maidenhead United. Hopefully it'll get us another job offer too. I want to start progressing in this career, but at least we've got a battle at the right end of the table. That's something. Don't forget to check out all the links in the eye above and in the description below, including our sponsor HelloFresh. And above my head now is the latest season of the Build a Nation. Give that one a try, and I'll see you next time.